It was about a week ago that we had this exact Cybertruck hooked up to that exact Lightship RV, and it didn't work. The Lightship RV would not provide any TrekDrive support, and we actually had to take the trailer off the Cybertruck, put it on a Rivian to get it to do its sort of drag offset, which is really the key unique selling point of the Lightship RV. Well, Lightship sent an engineer out to follow us around all week, and he has fixed it somehow. So now we had our friends Don and Maryann from the Our Tesla Model X Journey YouTube channel bring their Cybertruck about 2 hours all the way back up to the track, just so we could show you that Lightship maybe now does work with the Cybertruck. And that's essentially what we're going to do in this video. Same thing, but we do want to make sure that that thing works with this truck, because it really is an awesome two-vehicle solution. Alex, you were with us last, it was Monday, right? It's currently Friday.
I think it was Monday, yeah.
And it didn't work with this.
Right.
We were stuck on the side of the road trying to get the Lightship RV into road mode.
Indeed.
And now, supposedly, after some updates,
it should all be working.
That's what we're keeping our fingers crossed for. So we're going to take it out on the road and try it out. Alex, we should tell everyone a little bit about the Lightship RV and even a little bit about the Cybertruck before we head out on the road. This is a recreational vehicle towable version. Yep. So it's a bumper pull, just over 27 feet, 7,200 pound, maybe in that region, electrified RV. And I've been staying in it all week, and we'll give a full review of this thing because there's a lot to talk about with it.
Right.
It's a very complicated device, but one of the real unique, cool things about the Lightship is its TrekDrive system, so-called.
Right. So it basically has its own powertrain.
The rear axle of this has a permanent magnet electric motor, and that essentially will, once you get past 15 miles an hour, offset the drag forces on the tow vehicle. And the way that it can calculate that is that there are these two force sensors that are inside of the hitch that essentially look to see, okay, is the truck pulling on the trailer? And then it will dial in as much power as needed, up to its around 80 kilowatt maximum output.
Right, so it's trying to neutralize the drag of the trailer.
Yeah, and there's different methodologies, different modes they can come up with. I could tell after some updates this week as well, and I don't know exactly why or how, but the force that the trailer's working with the vehicle on is different than it was when we first got it.
Seems to be reduced.
Seems to be reduced, maybe to elongate the amount of time or distance that it could offset some of its drag.
Indeed.
It's a really complicated system. It's really cool though, and it's honestly worked amazing when we can get it into that mode. I've used it with my diesel truck, I've used it with the Rivian, and now we're going to attempt to use it with the Cybertruck. Alex, there's one problem that we need to discuss first. In the video we shot on Monday, we talked about the battery capacity of the Lightship.
Right.
And they told us multiple times over, it was 77 kilowatt hours usable.
Right.
We are here to report it is not that.
It's 77 gross, but the usable was it 69 point something?
Yeah, 69.2, I think.
Yeah, so
in the 69 range.
Call it 69 kilowatt hours.
So how can a company building an electric RV where their co-founder was a Model 3 battery engineer not know their usable energy content?
That's an excellent question.
So that kind of paints a picture for a lot of what we've experienced this week, stuff like that, to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
Regardless, we have 70 kilowatt hours behind us. You combine that with the 123 kilowatt hours of the Cybertruck, and now you have almost 200 kilowatt hours between truck and trailer.
Indeed.
Now you can deploy the TrekDrive system whenever you want. They recommend you come to a stop, turn it on and go. And that's exactly how we're going to do it today. We're going to come to a stop, drive it unloaded, just to, get a sense of our baseline efficiency,
right.
Turn the system on, get a sense of our efficiency afterwards. It's of course entirely dependent on that TrekDrive tuning, on how hard it's pushing. But essentially over an entire drive cycle, you would get the same benefit.
Right.
You get an extra 70 kilowatt hours of capacity to push you down the road. With all that said, we should talk to Don and Maryann since they were so kind for a second time to bring their Cybertruck all the way up here.
Indeed.
And let's go say hey to those guys. But Alex, any comments? You've had some time around the Lightship. You've now spent obviously quite a bit of time towing with Cybertruck.
I have, yes.
What's your impression of what you think this will be like?
Well, I guess we'll see, but it seems like a pretty good combination.
Like, if this all worked, it would be so awesome.
Yeah.
Just to go out. Where would you go?
I don't know. I guess I'd have to think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many different places that you could go.
With that much capacity, you don't really have to worry about range that much.
Yeah, and that's the real benefit to this thing is, yeah, your range reduction when towing is going to be, significantly reduced. So range reduction is reduced, your range is increased.
Yes, I like it. I'm with you. I think the viewers are mostly with us.
Yes.
Okay, let's chat with Don and Maryann.
All right.
Okay, I'm Maryann with Tesla Model X Journey, and this is my husband,
Don.
Don.
That's right, that's my name.
And we're really excited to come back today. Anytime Kyle says, I got something going on in the track and could use your help, we're going to be there no matter what. We didn't like leaving Monday with it not working. That was a bad feeling. So we want to be a winner today and show how TrekDrive and the Cybertruck can work.
Yeah.
I was also studying the website, and I didn't see enough Cybertruck pictures on the on the Lightship website. So I want to help fix that problem. And just excited to see it work today.
Yep.
I'll be quiet and I'll let you say something.
No, exactly. Honestly, we really wanted to see it work when we were up here on Monday. So when Kyle said, hey, can you come back? We said, sure. And so we were very happy to come up here and got our fingers crossed. I'm sure it's going to work. Ben, the engineer, he's done a great job. And I got faith in him.
It's such a sleek looking combo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I thought we should go turn some heads at the Supercharger again, see if we could wow some kids. There was lots of Cybertrucks charging earlier, so hopefully that'll...
4 of us there.
Yeah,
four Cybertrucks at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
Welcome to the inside of the Cybertruck for the second time this week. We are attempting to get TrekDrive to work with the Cybertruck.
Awesome.
I was able to get it into road mode, and it seemed happy. And it seemed happier than it did on Monday. Couple things that Lightship says we need to do. First of all, the trailer brakes on this unit really like a mid-gain position. They're a little grabby if you go too high.
Too high. Yeah.
And they really don't do anything if you go a little too low. So I don't know who burnished these in, but we'll keep it right there in the middle. We'll go to tow haul. Cybertruck has a bunch of settings here. You really want trailer auxiliary power on in order for this to work well. It also sometimes needs the big trailer brake in order to make sure that you are connected in road mode.
Right.
Now we're going to start in storage mode and drive down to the Supercharger.
Okay.
Take some photos, do the thing, and then we're going to drive TrekDrive back to here. It's a totally scientific test and look at the efficiency difference.
Right.
Now TrekDrive is operating at less output than it did previously.
Right.
From what we can tell. Maybe that's different again now. We're at the different vehicle.
I guess we'll find out.
But what that means is our efficiency difference may not be as big, but you would be able to get that benefit over a longer drive cycle.
Right.
So, this thing could push all the power all the time. You'd get 1,000,000 miles per kilowatt hour.
Right.
But you would only be able to do that for a short period of time. So it's efficiency over time is kind of what we're looking for.
Right.
Or over distance, I should say, for a period of time. Let's try it out, shall we? So I'll block the screen so no one can see
Very good.
the pin to drive.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right. All good. Smart technology, that's for sure. And we'll reset the trip computer as we pull out of the gate. So we'll go gate to Supercharger, one way. It's nearly zero elevation and no wind really anymore.
Yeah.
Very little.
Very little wind.
So I think it'll be as close as we can get it.
Right.
So let's head out. I love towing with the Cybertruck. I just got finished towing with the Rivian all day with this unit, and the Cybertruck is surprisingly doing it back to back way better at towing the Lightship than the Rivian. The Rivian's good, but just having the wide view mirrors that the Cybertruck has.
You can actually see around the trailer.
Exactly, I can see around the trailer. Cybertruck's wider. This is an 8.5 foot wide trailer. It's as big as DOT allows. So having a big truck really does help a lot. And Cybertruck just feels awesome while towing. I do want to check the suspension settings that we're running with, which we're going to go with a focused ride and handling profile, which just stiffens up the dampers because it's quite a heavy trailer. The last topic I should mention is this is a dual motor, brand new Cybertruck. Premium, I think is what they call it now.
Yep.
This looks a little bit muddy down this way, so we will, I guess, back it around the other way, and that'll be that. We'll get out on the road, reset everything,
Alrighty.
test it out. They said a refrigerator's towing a deep freezer. So let's go here to our trip computer, and then we will reset, not trip B on Don, because that's his lifetime.
Oh, cool. That's right. We did do the lifetime.
Yeah, I'm going to rename it to lifetime, actually.
Thank you.
That way, don't forget.
So that way no one gets in here and messes it up. So let's go lifetime, and we will reset trip A. Alex, I'll have you do it as soon as we go through the gate. You can actually pull up the check menu, so hit reset now. There you go, and then you can hit the red button when we cross the gate in 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
It went away.
it went away. There we go. Reset.
So we're just going to drive normally. It's not the most scientific drive loop, but it's
Right.
a bit of B road, a bit of highway, and then a little parking lot drive.
Right.
In one direction. Right now we're towing it as if the Lightship was just a normal camper trailer that's aerodynamic with a very low profile.
Right. So TrekDrive off, unassisted.
TrekDrive off, unassisted, exactly. The way back, we'll kick it on so that it can offset its load, and we'll look at the efficiency difference between the two runs.
Awesome.
Meet up with you guys along the way. We've already shown you how nicely it tows behind Cyber on the highway. This thing is dead solid, and honestly, I think Cybertruck is the best electric vehicle to tow with from a usability standpoint. I like the Silverado and Sierras better because of the big battery.
Yep.
Because you can just go far. But in terms of the actual driving, Cyber totally takes it. If only they sold that extended battery.
Yep.
I would have got that in a heartbeat.
So I'm seeing the turn signal fault again.
Yeah, this is not a good situation. Now, what we don't know 100% is if there's a problem with the Cybertruck that causes that, like
Right.
this particular one, or all Cybertrucks. One thing we
Right.
can say is this is a 2-week-old Cybertruck that the only people that have towed with it have been us.
That's right.
So I don't think it's been messed with. You can't rule it out completely. But the right signal is now flashing fast. So we don't have right turn signals on the trailer. But our left turn signal is working.
Right.
Which is the exact opposite as to how it was on Monday. Which makes me think it's not a Cybertruck fault.
Well, I think that the right one was working and the left one wasn't working.
Exactly. Yeah, so this is the opposite. Because right's not
Opposite.
working.
Right. So same problem, but opposite side.
Different turn signal.
Yeah.
So at least we can merge.
Yeah.
And we'll get it nicely up to speed, and let's just see what happens. We'll bring it to the Supercharger, and
Fingers crossed.
it's a fun video regardless because we're just doing stuff with our friends.
Yep.
We are exiting now at the Halifax Supercharger, which is a fantastic charging station for anyone driving up and down I-95. Also happens to be our local Supercharger, and rolling in with the Cybertruck and the Lightship is a really cool experience. Trying to use regen as much as possible, a little bit of friction brakes here at the end, just to get a real fair comparison between the two. I kept the speeds just about 70 miles an hour GPS, maybe a little over certain spikes. We'll try and match that as close as we can on the way back. I don't have the settings set to have adaptive cruise control while towing in the Cyber. Same comments apply. This thing tows amazing going down the road, especially compared to the Rivian, which is interesting to do it back to back. And you do have to be really gentle with the steering, of course, because the steer-by-wire is
Twitchy.
yeah. Oh, nice old brown Model S.
That's titanium.
Titanium.
Yeah, titanium. So it's actually not old brown, it's the
Yeah.
titanium one, AP1 car. Very cool. a green wrap on that one, which is interesting. We've got a guy using the windshield washer.
I saw someone doing that the other day on another Model Y.
All over his paint.
Yes.
Colton would have an aneurysm. He would actually keel over and die.
He might actually have a heart attack.
Yes. So, kind of cruising in this way. We're going to pull ourselves up and forwards. Going a little bit wide. We've got a long supercharger cable, which is nice. And we're parked. Let's take a look at the efficiency. We are at 786 watt-hour per mile.
Yeah.
Almost exactly what it was on Monday as well.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, more or less the same.
Yeah.
Trying to think, might have been warmer on Monday, but yeah. Seems like nears makes no difference, basically the same.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it's a 10-mile one way. We used 8 kilowatt hours, or 7.9.
Yeah.
So let's plug in just because we can, and it's cool.
Might as well.
May as well. And then we will head back to the track.
Alrighty.
We've made it here to the supercharger. Don's getting us plugged in. We'll get some photos, but Maryann's got a cool piece of info for everyone.
So Wednesday is Earth Day.
What is the date on that?
The 22nd. It's the 22nd each year.
Yeah.
What month are we? May?
April.
Oh, okay. 2026.
420 is a couple days from now.
Okay. Shows you how out of it I am.
Actually.
Okay. Well, all the teachers and kids and parents, they are very familiar with Earth Day, and it's always April the 22nd. There's usually some cool stuff going on locally. So Tesla wanted to get in on that, and if you charge your vehicle at a Supercharger on Wednesday, you'll get a special Supercharger badge. So I definitely plan on hitting like either Benson or 4042 up by Iona or somewhere. I have to have the badge. So I will be supercharging Wednesday.
I'm going to go get it too. Actually, you know what? I will not be here.
Oh.
So I'm going to China.
Oh, well, somebody else can drive your Tesla to the supercharger.
Someone's got to, Alex, you might have to bring the Tesla over.
Just to plug it in. Yep.
All right. Well, that sounds really good. So we'll get some photos. We'll kick on TrekDrive. And then we'll hit the... All right, so Don went into the Oasis over here. It's a really nice area just over that way. We're going to try and get TrekDrive on before we pull out of here.
Yeah.
Because that would be just a disaster if it didn't work again. But this iPad's been a real connectivity annoyance. So let's go from storage mode now into road mode. We are not using a weight distribution hitch.
Your
Contactors. Are we good? Contactors went.
Contactors went.
I think we're good.
All right.
I think we're in. And it says TrekDrive active. The only thing that's critical is we're out of water on the unit, which is fine. I used city water actually while camping in it at the beach. I plugged into one of those campground water faucet things.
Oh, they just had a
a little hook in. So yeah, didn't
have to fill it.
Didn't have to fill it. That's right. So it worked out really well actually. So yeah, I think we're good to rock and roll. As soon as Don is back, we'll hit the road.
Sweet.
See if TrekDrive makes a big difference. It should. Don has unplugged us from the supercharger. I feel like, was it 6 years ago we went to Fully Charged Live?
That's right.
Do you remember we went to the Chatamo Electrify America?
That's right. Some Walmart in Arkansas?
It must have been Arkansas. We found a shortcut.
That's right.
And we had, back then, there was no CCS adapter.
CCS.
My phone got laid down. Oh no, it's in the front. Is it in the front seat, Kyle, the camera?
Yeah.
Not the phone, but the camera.
Camera, got it.
Thank you.
There you go.
I'm always laying my crap somewhere.
You're good. But, just we've come so long since that Chatamo adapter days.
That was a real road trip. That's right. I remember that.
Now, when we go on a trip, I don't even look.
Yeah.
You just go.
Same thing. When we leave home, don't even worry about what charge level we leave at. Now, because we've gotten really used to going back and forth to Charlotte to take Johnny to and from school, we sort of have a little bit of a routine how we do that. But really, when we just take off, we just take off. We don't care.
Yep, it's so easy.
Yeah, because there's a supercharger. No matter which direction, which road we take, within 50 miles, we're going to cross at least a supercharger, probably two.
Now, you know what would be a little bit maybe more annoying on a road trip would be to charge this and that at the same time.
Yeah, that would be.
Because again, there's only one supercharger post here.
That's right.
That doesn't have DC charging enabled yet, but it will. It has a NACS inlet port. Should do 150 kilowatt charging. It's 10 to 80 in just about 40 minutes, which kind of matches the trucks. It's a little bit slower than the truck, but if you plug it in first.
That's right.
then you get the truck charging. So I guess with this, you would back it into that stall there, maybe plug it in, and then bring your truck over to another spot.
Yeah, but why not have 2 posts? I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's a site design thing.
Yeah.
I hope charge point operators start to think about electrified trailers.
That's right.
There's only, well, this is number 6, so there's maybe 10 or less of those on the road.
Right.
It's not worth building more for those yet,
Right.
but one day.
Yeah. Well, it makes a big difference because, especially if you have to hook up or unhook just to charge the trailer, that would get to be a real drag. Leave it at a regular J1772 type or, you know, something else to charge.
Right, and that's where the Pebble moving itself around with the joystick kind of sounds pretty cool.
Oh, I agree. And that looked like a really nifty solution, a great help and benefit. I would have to say that self-propelled thing.
I guess we won't know until we try it. Hopefully,
That's right.
Lightship lets us have this back when it DC charges.
Well, I tell you what, I want you to get the Pebble, and we will bring our Cybertruck back.
Okay, sounds good. I've been asking Pebble to drop it off.
Yeah.
They haven't been ballsy enough to do it yet.
Yeah, we're game.
Okay, sounds great. So, Alex, I think we've got TrekDrive enabled.
Yep, seems like it should be working, hopefully.
It's there. So I'm going to have you monitor, just like you did the other day when we took it out with the diesel. Oh, no, we took it out with the Rivian with you.
Yeah.
There, boom, and that will monitor the power output of the battery.
Will it flip over? No, it won't. So just have to hold it like that while
Yep.
this is plugged in.
It's designed to, again, be wirelessly charged,
It's
but
supposed to be wirelessly charged, but we have it plugged into a thing. I guess we need to reset our trip, right?
yes, I'll hide the... and then we'll go here to trips, reset trip A. As soon as we go, we'll do that, and then we'll be good to rock and roll.
Cool.
Hey guys, you're joining me from behind the camera because we had a super weird audio issue. That's actually an iOS bug. If any of you know what happens, this is what the audio just sounds like, straight recorded out of my iPhone, no mics. So unfortunate timing just as we get TrekDrive on, but I figured I'll let the video play in the background and give you a summary as to what's happening. So we pull out of the Supercharger and immediately find out that TrekDrive is working with the Cybertruck. Now, I know that might sound a little fishy because there's no audio here, but genuinely it is working and you can watch it on the iPad do its thing. And obviously we didn't plan for any audio issues, so I really apologize. We're turning onto the highway now and we're getting over 75 kilowatts of power output from the trailer. And that's when I start to notice that the Cybertruck's throttle pedal is doing some weird things to compensate for the trailer. It seems Tesla's accelerator pedal is more of an acceleration target or a G-rate target than an actual power output target. And it gets into sort of an oscillation or a feedback loop with the trailer where it just keeps adding more and more power. And I noticed that especially once we get to cruising speeds between 70 and 75 miles an hour or so, which is exactly what we drove down to the charger. Again, it's not a scientific loop style test. We just wanted to show that TrekDrive does work with the Cybertruck and the efficiency benefits. By the way, the trailer tires are rated to 77 miles an hour, so we are well within spec. Cruising along the highway, it was really hard to maintain 70 miles an hour with TrekDrive, like almost impossible. I'd pick a constant throttle application or accelerator pedal application and the Cybertruck would start like adding more and more power with the trailer. And I was like, whoa. So you're constantly making these micro adjustments. And that is not the case when I've used TrekDrive with Rivian or even my diesel truck. There's just something about the Cybertruck's pedal tuning that doesn't play super nice with a trailer that's offsetting its drag forces. But it does work in theory and in practice, and we did get much better efficiency. And pulling down the road into the track, you can actually see as soon as we crossed the line, we got 417.5 watt hour per mile, which is down from just under 800. So we went from basically 770 watt hour per mile to 417 watt hour per mile. That's well over 2 miles per kilowatt hour, towing at around 70 miles an hour, merging on the highway, of course, regenning off the highway on both devices. Now that only paints the picture for part of the story because of course it's all determined on how hard TrekDrive can push for how long. And like we mentioned in the beginning of this video, there's 69.2 kilowatt hours of energy storage in the CATL cells that Lightship is using. So you can basically get that benefit for about 69 kilowatt hours worth until the trailer is empty. And then, of course, the truck takes over. So from my perspective, it seemed that the TrekDrive system was back into full power mode, which something it seemed to have been derated when we were using with the Rivian before filming this. It was very variable. However, you will get a efficiency benefit until the battery runs out, of course, even if it's running at low, medium, or high power output to offset its forces. Now, one thing that really bothered us about using the TrekDrive system with Cybertruck was that feedback loop. So I actually turned around and put the Cybertruck just in basic cruise control. Again, FSD is not available while towing yet. Maybe never. I don't know. I sure hope it will be. And we decided to go out on a drive with cruise control. Sorry for the noise. Let me mute that. And what we ended up finding was that cruise control in Tesla has such great control over vehicle speed that it can compensate a lot for those TrekDrive oscillating forces that cause the Cybertruck to just want to rocket ahead. And so I found that by setting the cruise control, it actually will get to a set speed, and then the Cybertruck almost regens to hold it there for a second while the trailer pushes until they get settled into a normal, sort of cruising speed. In theory, the trailer should never push against the Cybertruck. In practice, it seemed like that is what was happening in this case before the trailer had a chance to catch up and realize, hey, I can't be providing any force while the truck is regenning, and it went through a little negotiation. Thankfully, it's not enough power to really cause any stability issues, at least on straight roads. It would require more testing on twisty or mountainous or slippery terrain to make sure that this was not a critical stability problem. Another thing that Alex suggested trying was putting the Cybertruck into chill drive mode to offset some of that constant raising power output. I mean, I was pushing the pedal down an inch and the Cybertruck was just adding more and more power. And we found that chill mode really settled things down. So if you're going to tow a Lightship with a Cybertruck, it tows amazing. Put it in chill mode. That really compensates for some of that weird feedback loop that we were getting. And use the basic cruise control because Tesla's power management can just hold you right at the speed, but you'll constantly watch the power output sort of try to negotiate with the Lightship trailer to hold you at that speed. Ultimately, it shouldn't really matter that much. Again, you have a total energy capacity of about 200 kilowatt hours between the truck and trailer. And so if the trailer's pushing a little bit more or the truck's pulling a little bit more in a given moment, you're still pulling from the same pool of energy, if you will. The efficiency increase is astounding, of course, but that is really down to how aggressive TrekDrive is tuned. And in this case, it seemed like TrekDrive was dialed up to 12 with the Cybertruck and really wanting to push, which means that we got, basically double the efficiency or half the consumption, however you want to look at it. It's a really cool system that honestly is the best part about the Lightship RV. And I hope to see Lightship embrace their TrekDrive technology, dial in the roughness around the edges here or there, and then maybe just sell that as a system to be put into other trailers or so on and so forth. So with that said, we wanted to get one more baseline for this video, which was driving the Cybertruck on the exact same loop, but with no Lightship. That way we can compare the numbers of an empty Cybertruck to a non-TrekDrive Lightship to a Lightship with TrekDrive. So Don and Maryann ran the exact same loop. Thankfully, we have the audio. We'll come back at the end, analyze the numbers, and send you with your final thoughts.
So we are coming up on the gate here to do the test.
The car's doing this. The car sees the gate.
And stopped on its own.
Stopped on its own. Now, I don't know what it's going to do when the gate closes or opens all the way, if it'll re-engage, but we're going to assume that's what's going to happen. Look at that.
Wow.
All right.
Don hit reset. So we're just going to do watt hours per mile to the same spot at the Halifax Supercharger. So we have a comparison with the trailer back there and without the trailer back there.
Right. And we've got all the dynamics and all that stuff.
The same settings. We tried to emulate the same settings.
That's right. And have the height is higher.
Right. Down here, preferred ride height is higher.
Yeah, because I can tell you we are higher. I couldn't really, I mean, I had the feel when we were in the back seat that we were higher, but now that I'm in the front seat, I can really tell we're higher because I'm used to this view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder for the test if it matters if we were in FSD or not.
Well, the thing is,
just do 72.
Right. We'll do the speed, but what I was thinking is, I can't emulate what Kyle was doing with the accelerator. In other words, if you asked me to try to hold 71 to 72 miles an hour, I could do anywhere between 65 and 75.
Yeah.
But Kyle, he can keep it, and he did it with the trailer. So I'm going to just let FSD manage the speed.
So we put in the Oasis and not the Halifax Supercharger because we don't want the battery to start preconditioning. That would affect what's going on.
Right.
Confident in the circle.
Yeah. Handle it just like no big deal.
Yeah. Do this just for fun.
Yeah.
Well, we're here, and the result is a little surprising. 430 watt hours per mile. We were expecting it to be down under 400, closer to 380. I don't know why that is. I know for short little trips, it can be not particularly accurate, but we've come 10 miles, give or take. So
yeah. We're in the regen. We're
only one stall over. This Lightning is charging here on the end. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Some final thoughts on the numbers now. Pretty impressive results and also require some explanation. So without a trailer, the Cybertruck driving on its own on the way from the track to the Halifax Supercharger, again, almost no elevation and almost no wind, but it is not the most scientific test, was 429.9 watt hour per mile. Seems normal. That's what you would expect to get with a Cybertruck. With a relatively short distance, a hard merge onto the highway, cruising at over 70 miles an hour off the highway and back to where you go. That seems about what we normally see. Then with the Lightship, an almost 8,000 pound travel trailer without TrekDrive, but again, it's a very low profile trailer. We got 786.1 watt hour per mile. So not quite double the consumption, but almost when you tow. And that's just a story we all know. It's very common when you tow with electric, gas, or diesel or whatever. Your consumption will increase when you tow a trailer. Now, it is impressive that the Lightship is so naturally efficient just due to that shape on the highway, but you're still lugging all that weight up to speed. Yes, you do get the benefit of that weight on the regen cycle as well, so it tends to even out, and this was a very efficient tow rig, even without TrekDrive at under 800 watt hour per mile on that trip, well over 1 mile per kilowatt hour. That's about like 1.2 miles per kilowatt hour, right? Maybe a little bit more. Pretty good. Really not bad. Then we kicked on TrekDrive. And this consumption number is entirely dependent on how aggressive TrekDrive is set. And with the Cybertruck, it felt very aggressive. You actually saw in the previous clip when we were using cruise control in the Cybertruck to get you to 55 miles an hour and hold you there, you could see the trailer push against the truck and the Cybertruck have to go into regen to hold itself at 55 on a flat road. So this thing felt like it was on a hot tune, like it was dialed way up, which I've just had so much inconsistency with TrekDrive on that hot tune and then on a very normal lax tune, but Lightship says they haven't changed anything. So I don't know what causes that, whether they're reading one force sensor instead of two force sensors, or if there's a software bug in there somewhere. I'm not sure, but it was definitely on the full tune, and it got the best efficiency towing the Lightship trailer, which is crazy. 417.5 watt hour per mile. Keep in mind, that's a different drive cycle, right? That's Halifax Supercharger back to the track. So maybe wind played a factor, but regardless, ignore the minutia stuff. In general, you can tell that when you turn TrekDrive on, it almost eliminates the drag forces from the trailer. In this case, it did a little bit more. It was even better, but it pretty much makes it so you retain your original range on your vehicle. That's what this test proves with this tune. Now, they could dial TrekDrive back, right? Because you're going to run out of 70 kilowatt hours pretty fast on that trailer before the truck's out of charge. And they could dial that back a little bit so you could match the range of the trailer and the truck a little bit more closely. That would be better from a route planning perspective, but the user should have access to say, hey, I'm only doing a short distance, give me all the TrekDrive. Or say, hey, I'm going to go on a long trip. I'm not able to DC charge the trailer at the next stop. Just give me a tiny bit of force just to offset and amortize that force over a longer distance. Ultimately, they can do whatever they want with software. You've got an 80 kilowatt motor and a 70 kilowatt hour battery pack, and it can be tuned however. But in this case, in this test with this tune, the trailer was pretty much eliminated in terms of its consumption, and that is just a cool thing to showcase. That's all this is. This is a cool technology to look at. Now, this is not my full review of the Lightship RV. In full transparency, I was pretty disappointed with a lot of things about the Lightship RV. Build quality, fit and finish, feature count, usability. That will all come in other videos that you'll see from my side. And I'm also letting Lightship RV know, of course, a lot of my concerns with their trailer. But the TrekDrive system is the coolest part. And if it just gets another couple rounds of iteration of fine tuning, especially with popular vehicles that it might be used with, Cybertruck being one of them, that would be great. And then a little bit more user control about how and when to deploy that TrekDrive system would be amazing as well. So ultimately, the moral of the story here is TrekDrive works now with Cybertruck. It works really well. The Cybertruck tows the Lightship amazingly. So if you're thinking about getting one of these and you have a Cybertruck, that is an awesome combination, is what we learned today. Thanks so much for watching another Out of Spec Bits episode. A huge thank you to Don and Maryann for coming up a second day. I feel bad about the audio issues because not only did they take a day out of their lives to come up here to the track to shoot that video, we left our vacation trip in the Lightship early to come back and test this for you guys. Ultimately, it doesn't matter to me if it worked or didn't work, but we felt that if it was going to work, we should at least leave the viewers, you guys, with the impression of an accurate depiction of the Lightship. And to Lightship's credit, they had an engineer out here, they fixed it, they got it to work, now it works. Needs some fine tuning and dialing in. Is it crazy that they're still doing engineering while it's on a press loan to us? Yes, but we're here to share the real story with y'all. So that's the Cybertruck towing the Lightship. They got it to work. End of the story. We have a lot more videos coming, a lot more explainers coming from our side. Thanks so much for watching. See you in another one again soon. Bye-bye.